to the next project. I bought a 6.4 style tow mirrors for my 6.0. I want to get these guys paint matched to the truck because I just like how clean it looks. I'm not a big fan of the black plastic that come factory or anything like that. We're gonna get these sanded down, get them painted to match the truck. Hopefully, maybe I can teach you guys how to do them. I mean, I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just a DIYer, if that makes sense. You know, I just do stuff to save money myself. First, before we start, I need to clean off my workbench because I have been doing flooring in the house. We are going to get that all cleaned off before we start. Man, gotta love brand new shiny mirrors, minus my fingerprint on that one, but that's all right. Just using painter's tape for this. I usually get the thicker stuff because obviously it covers a lot more area. I got a squeegee so I can squeegee it and kind of push the tape in past the mirror so you don't have like a really awkward looking hard line on it on the inside, because there will be a line in there and I just want to try to avoid having a really ugly looking line. Go ahead and get some tape put on it and then I'll show you guys what it looks like after that. Kind of show you guys also how the squeegeeing with this goes. I'm literally just taking it and just folding it over, and I'm making a little slit right here so it'll fold over nice and even. As you can see, there's a little bit of line, but it's still covered, so you're not going to get any paint on that and it's not going to look bad. And then I just kind of lightly squeegee it onto the mirror so that way it sticks good, and whenever I'm spraying paint, there's not a chance of it like coming up and possibly getting on my actual mirror. I'm gonna go and get this finished now since I kind of showed you guys how I do it. Well, I got them both all masked off, pretty clean, not too bad. I mean, it'll do for now. On the back side of the mirror, this is optional. I like to do it because, like I said, I like to make sure I get everything. That way the mirror is like highest quality that I could possibly do. If you've never removed these side marker lights, there's this tab right here that you have to push, and then you have to push this out as well. You can only access it from inside this mirror, so you have to get into the corner, get a little screwdriver, and you'll have to push it. You'll see the tab. Just be very careful you don't nick the wire, and then you can just simply pop these out, pop this guy off, and then that way you can strip it off how you want. If you want to leave it, that's cool, but this is just how I'm gonna do it. Obviously, make sure you take your bulbs out. I'm replacing these with LEDs, so I thought this one had LEDs in it, but it doesn't. So next is sanding. This is what the mirror looks after taking 240 to it. Save your hands, use an electric one on all the big areas, and all the cracks you're gonna have to go over by hand with. You can see, still need to go over a little bit more, but just want to show you guys a little bit of progress update. This is what the mirror marker light will look like. One thing that is really kind of hard to do when you're painting a mirror is folding it in and doing that and painting it, because obviously in order to fold this in you got to put your hand on it. I mean, I don't know any better way to do it, but I just don't even fold the mirror in. I never ever fold my mirrors in anyway, so it's not really like it's a big deal, but I guess technically you could do the whole mirror, paint it, and then mask off everything, go back through, fold the mirror over, and then finish up touching all that if it really bugs you. But me personally, not gonna bother me, so I'm just gonna leave it. This is what it will look like after you run over the mirror with 400 grit sandpaper. It's very, very smooth. There's just a couple little bitty spots I got to sand out by hand, but it's turning out pretty good so far. Call this mirror done, and we're gonna go ahead and start on the next mirror, and I'll get back to you guys after I get the next one sanded. Next step, some wax and grease remover. I had this sitting on my shelf from when I painted my high school truck, so we're gonna go ahead and wipe the mirrors down with this stuff. I'm gonna try and do this one-handed, so don't judge me too hard. There's one mirror. We're gonna let that guy dry. Everywhere I touch, I'm just gonna wipe it one more time. Now we'll do these parts. These are pretty easy to do. done. Both mirrors have been wiped down with wax and grease remover. Before you do paint, go over it one more time because I'm gonna have to touch this because I'm gonna be hanging it off of my garage railing. We can just see all that nasty stuff it picked up. We're going to let this stuff dry and then we will move on to putting some primer on it. After you get it hung up, go over it again with some more wax and grease remover. Just make sure you removed everything you can off of it. Now let that dry for a little bit, or you could take a heat gun to it and dry it really fast. Highly recommend heating it up a little bit. You're going to need adhesion promoter for anything plastic because plastic's a little bit harder to stick to. We're going to let that stuff dry for just a little bit, and then we are going to move on to the primer. Okay, I've been letting this heat up for a little bit and shaking it. I'm using a filler primer. That is the first coat. This stuff sprays kind of heavy. I got a little bit more on there than I really wanted the first time around, but that's all right because we don't have any runs yet. So plus if we do, we'll sand it out, no big deal. But we're gonna let that dry for probably 15 minutes and then we'll come back to it, put another coat on it. Also guys, if you're painting at home, don't be like me and not wear a respirator or anything like that to protect yourself. My garage door's open, it's vented, I have a fan blowing out. Be mindful of that. Don't take after me on breathing in paint fumes and stuff. The last coat of primer is finally on. Looks like it's going to turn out pretty good. So far everything looks really smooth. I'm pretty happy with it so far. So we'll get to sanding it. Clear coat is here. Go ahead and take one out. The best clear coat that you can buy in a can. This is my favorite. It's a two-part. So it has this red cap that you literally will pop off. And then there's this little nozzle down here that you'll put it on. And whenever you're ready to use it, you put it on and then you just slam it on the table and it releases the hardener into the clear coat. This is a 2K, which I want my mirrors to look really good, so this is what I'm going to use. We're going to get this can heated up. This is the exact color that I need for my truck. It's Oxford white color that my truck is. I went ahead and wiped it down with some wax and grease remover, so we moved every bit of my handprint and grease off of it. I'm heating up the mirror because it's like 27 degrees out. It's really cold, but I'm gonna heat up my paint next, and then we can go ahead and get spraying. Well, I suck at using technology. I went ahead and put my two coats on. My first one was pretty light just to cover it, and the second one was a lot heavier. Forgot to record it, that's my bad. I'm kind of a crappy cameraman. We're gonna go ahead and get our third coat ready. I'm gonna heat up my can. I've been heating up the mirror so it'll stick because it's really cold out. So I'll get back to you guys after we get this last coat on. I got it hung up on a little bit of a better spot, but it turned out pretty good, I'd say. So we're gonna let this dry for a while. Probably give it a, I don't know, 8 hours to dry completely, just because it's cold and it's gonna take a little bit longer. But I do need to go get another can of paint real quick and touch that little spot up, and then I can call it good. Take the red cap off, flip over the can, put it on the bottom, then I'm very happy with how this paint job turned out. Both mirrors turned out really good. We'll let this dry for a couple days before I dare touch anything on it. Now you guys can get a pretty good view. You can see the reflection off that right there. Looks really nice. Marker lights. Here they are. They turned out really good too. So we'll give this a couple days to dry, fully cure, and then we'll take the tape off. This is the finished product. I didn't film taking off the tape or anything because that's pretty self-explanatory, but these things turned out really good. Got really good shine, reflection to them. I'm super happy with these. I posted these on my story, just showing them off, and I've already got a couple people want me to build them a set now. So I might be doing that. And if you guys remember me talking about if you don't sand enough that you'll see the little dots, you might be able to see it right there, but everywhere I did, it's super smooth and it feels like the body. But I just want to show you guys with them on the truck. That is, that's finished product. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want me to paint match more stuff, let me know. I really want to do my door handles. Don't mind that. Someone tried to borrow this truck, but I really wouldn't mind doing that. I think those would look really good. That's all for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys had a good one.